Do you know what Nemesis means? A righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. Personified in this case by an horrible cunt. Me.
Evening, sir. Man, welcome to Blockbuster.
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm Demas. How can I help you today?
Did you say Demas?
That's correct. Well, it's Rick, but Rick Demas. But never mind. How can I help you, sir?
Okay, Demas. I'm looking for some lost action movies from the 1980s, please. Can you point me in the right direction?
Lost movies? I don't grab it, man. What's that mean?
Like forgotten action movies from the 1980s. Can you just point me in the direction of your 1980s action films?
Well, with all due respect, man, this is Blockbuster. If they're lost or forgotten, they're not going to be here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We do have a section, a Michael Bay section, an action section, my manager's picks.
Is that a fact?
That's correct.
All right, Demas, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and get the fuck on out of here. I want you to have a great day and go fuck yourself.
Fantastic, then. Thank you. Have a Blockbuster night. Hey, man. Welcome to Last Video Store. How can I help you?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I'm looking for lost action movies from the 1980s. Got anything like that?
Absolutely. Come on in. Garrick really did eat the big white mint. He was Patrick Swayze's stunt cock in the sex scene with Kelly Lynch, Lee Bridges. And there's always Barber College. Doug Wall! This is Tales from the Video Store.
I think y'all got it.
Now we got it. Welcome to Tales from the Video Store. How you guys doing today?
Doing great.
That was it.
That was it.
We got it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have just jumped in anytime.
Let's just jump in. All right, movies. Well, Jesus, get on.
I didn't want to ruin you guys' mojo.
I know, that was good.
God damn.
Did you watch some movies this
I
week?
did not.
What?
I went to the video store a couple times. Last night I picked up the Suspiria remake and I looked at it. And I looked at it and saw it was 2.5 hours. I was like, I can't do it. Can't do it. And I just nothing moved me, so I didn't rent anything. I mean, I rewatched a bunch of old stuff. You know, I rewatched I haven't watched in years. My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
It still holds up.
Yeah, it really does. And
I've
I
watched
didn't
it
realize
last
until when I watched it that Nora Ephron was married to Nick Pileggi. So when he was writing Wise Guys, the book it was based on, she was writing a script just like, I'm sure that stuff like this happened. So it's in a way, it's almost like Goodfellas 2.
Yeah.
But with jokes. You know. And like there's so many just random lines, like when Steve Martin's talking about his uncle. He goes, my uncle, he's going to buy me this tricycle when I was a kid. And I went down Christmas morning, and he was laying dead under the Christmas tree with a bullet in his head. Also, no bicycle. It's like, I hadn't seen it in years. I couldn't believe how funny it still was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hadn't watched anything new.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, they were married until she died, right?
Yeah.
So they've stayed married.
Yeah, they were married for like 20-something years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yes, she was good too.
Yeah, she was a really talented writer.
Absolutely. And so was he.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. You watch something?
What'd you watch?
I had a slow week too, man,
Yeah.
because of other things I've been doing. But I watched Cold Skin.
Oh, yeah, what'd you think?
I loved it.
It's really well done.
I loved it, man. And I'll tell you what, there was 2 fish movies last year.
Right.
Well, yeah, Cold Skin and Shape of Water.
Right.
And Cold Skin kills it.
Yeah.
And now, granted, Shape of Water is fantastic in design.
Right.
Production design, the way they did it. I don't care for the story.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I think when, after Pan's Labyrinth came out and Hellboy 2 came out, their total was just so huge. Right. Then he spent like 2.5 years not making The Hobbit. He was gone for like 2.5 years. And I honestly think he lost a step. Like he was at that moment where he could have been the biggest director on earth.
Oh, for sure.
And he just, spent, almost 3 years
doing something.
Doing something that never got made.
Yeah.
And I think that was a huge mistake. Because, his movies now, they're good, but they're not nearly as good as they used to be. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, that one won the Best Picture, so somebody liked it.
Well, a lot of people did. And I didn't dislike it.
I didn't dislike it either.
But,
But next to Cold Skin?
Yeah. Dude, that shot of... when the first time he's in the dude's in the lighthouse, and you see Ray Stevens, and he's in slow motion, he's just shooting stuff, and he's like, one guy comes up, he's just like stabs him in the face. Yeah. And so it's such an awesome slow mo shot.
Oh yeah, it's great. And he's sitting back and I can't think of his name.
And I was on the fence about the movie until the second night when Ray Stevenson locks him out. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, the guy's dead. And then he opens the door, and that guy's just sitting there alive with rock. He's just covered in blood. Just like from head to toe.
You gotta see this movie.
And it's more my type of movie.
I agree, but I think it was just a better movie overall. Yeah. I liked the whole story, everything. And Shape of Water had its moments, but then
right.
You kind of lose me when you're swimming around with a fish guy in a flat and where were they? Were they in New York City?
I think so, but I can't remember. Yeah.
And the water is filled up to the ceiling. Well, they're daggone, well, that's never going to happen. Right. It's so some of it was kind of fantasy. And I get it, but
which in movies like Pan's Labyrinth, where it's half in a fantasy world, half in the real world, that makes sense. Yes. And that movie's supposed to be all in the real world.
That's correct.
So
I'd give Cold Skin a great A- and The Shape of Water a B-. So what's the great difference on that? As comparing fish movies.
Movies where people have sex with fish.
Yes. That's right. In both movies they had sex with fish. There was bestiality in both movies.
Which Cold Skin is based on a novel that came out in 2002. So it's not like, they just happened to get made at the same time.
One got an Oscar for Best Picture, and the other one was
released on Shudder.
Yeah, it was released on Shudder. There's the difference.
Sometimes that's how it goes.
Sometimes that's how it ain't. Yep,
that's true. So I wanted to watch an action movie from the 80s. So I revisited Henry, A Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, John McNaughton movie.
Michael Booker.
Michael Rooker.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
John McNaughton.
Yep.
Directed it. He did Wild Things. I think it was the last thing that I recognized that he had done.
Yeah.
Which 3 minutes of that movie is
that's an entertaining movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing with Bill Murray and the lawyer, it's way more clever than it should be. You're like, this is like a Skinamax movie. Then it actually becomes like a movie.
Yeah. It gets cool at the end.
Yeah.
It does a great ending.
Yeah.
Tom Towles.
Yep, great.
He was the sheriff from Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Yep. And
he was in the Night of the Living Dead remake from the 90s.
Devil's Rejects. He died in 2015. This was a 1986 movie.
Right.
$110,000 budget. It was a 16mm shot movie that they did in less than a month.
Yeah.
Man, and it holds up.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. A really good movie.
Yeah.
It's very creepy. It actually had an X rating for a while, and it actually didn't get released until I think 1990.
Until The Silence of the Lambs came out.
Yeah. And then I guess all bets were off at that point.
Yeah. The cover of the VHS is a guy in the Hannibal Lecter mask.
Is it?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with Henry Lee Lucas. It was literally just like, serial killer movie, watch this.
Watch this.
Yeah. And the guy who Tom Towles plays is the guy who confessed to killing John Walsh's son, the host of
I saw that there were some...
Now, he later recanted it, but...
saying that this guy was this, it was based on this,
Otis
and this guy was...
Yeah, he confessed to killing John Walsh, the guy who hosted America's Most
Right. He's got a new show on ID, actually.
Yeah.
Walsh does.
And Henry Lee Lucas, he was famous for, like in Texas, if you had an unsolved murder, you bring him like a nice meal or TV, he confessed to it. What are they going to do, execute him twice?
Yeah.
At that one, he was just like, you got murders need clearing up? I'm your guy.
Yeah.
It
was cool.
It's a really good movie. It's also a movie that you probably will not want to watch all over and over again.
No. It's got a Vice Squad feel.
Yeah.
Yes. That low budget, but it's graphic.
There's a movie, like you love the movie Natural Born Killers. And there's a scene in Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer I think is better than all of Natural Born Killers. The camera scene. You think they go steal a video camera and they go kill this family, and you see it's Otis holding the camera, and the son comes in, they snap his neck, and the mom comes in, they rape her and all this stuff. Then the camera pulls back, and they're watching it on TV. And Otis grabs the remote and hits rewind, and Michael Rooker goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I want to watch it again." And like the point that Natural Born Killers has about serial killers being entertainment, that scene to me
epitomized
is what the whole movie's about. Is what both movies are about, I guess.
It is a very honest look.
I saw it. I can't remember it, but I saw it.
This serial killer. It's not necessarily about being a serial killer. It's about becoming one and maintaining it.
Yeah.
He wants to remain one above everything. He kind of teaches Otis a couple of things, and then he sees that Otis is not going to work out, so he's got to go. And then, Otis's sister, it's like, well, I wish I could do, we're not going to...
Then she's in a suitcase.
Yeah, the final scene. Yeah. It's chilling, but it's fantastic.
The interview,
really good movie.
The actual Henry Lee Lucas, when he talks about killing Otis's sister, he said they were sitting on like a side of the road somewhere in Texas. He said she was just bitching. And he said he just took out his knife and just right in the neck. Like that. He said she just fell over. She was just gone.
Yeah, that was it.
That was it. And he said he never thought of her again.
Yeah, I'd had enough.
Yep. And that was, He was a very twisted end. There's a sequel that is not where somebody else plays Henry Lee. I've never seen it, though.
I don't know.
It is not made by anybody connected to the movie.
But that's what I
Great
watched.
movie.
Yeah, cool movie. I think maybe I'd seen it once before, but it's been several years, and I was really impressed by it. Man, it holds up, dude.
Yeah.
And Rooker rather, not Hooker. That's his very first role, and he is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, yeah.
People talk about serial killers, and they say, most of them don't necessarily look evil or look like they could do these things.
Right.
Rooker has the look.
Oh, yeah, and Henry Lee Lucas. One eye without a glass eye.
Yeah. He has that look and always has. He's had an awesome career.
Well, even the VHS tape, remember? It was the picture of him looking in the mirror, and he just looks, the lighting and everything, he looks menacing.
His brow, it's
just menacing.
He was made for that role.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool movie, though.
Yeah.
So, I did want to give you props on something, Lee. I hate to do it, but I have to on this. I rewatched Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
2012 the other night. And I'm the biggest defender of him. I love everything that he's ever made, or at least I claim to. And
say it.
Fuck it. And you're right, dude. It's just not a good movie.
Yeah. It's not.
It is not.
It's too precious.
It's too precious, and the acting in it, with these precious young, this young actor and actress who play, I guess, the leads in this movie, along with the other people that are in it. It's just, it's almost a rushed movie, and it's only like an hour and 33 minutes.
Yeah,
and I have to be honest with you, I stopped it before the end,
right?
Because I had
it's
enough.
Not very good,
and it's got some scenes that are great. It's got some dialogue that is great. But all in all, it is absolutely Wes Anderson's poorest effort.
It feels like he's trying to make a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, it's like Gus Anderson showed up and he's like, I'm going to try and see if I can do what my nephew Wes does.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I see what you're saying, but like I think I mentioned this before. It's like De Palma in the early 90s when he made like Raising Cain. Yeah. It's like he was trying to duplicate what he'd done in the early 80s.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was just it just wasn't
100%
working.
It didn't work.
And it's not like the parts are there. Like it's like a car. Everything runs.
Oh, it's well acted. It's fine.
It just sucks.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say sucks. It's just compared to his other movies, it's nowhere near as good.
If this was the only thing he had ever made, I would still like it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but in comparison with everything else,
compared to the Royal Tenenbaums,
it's a fucking D- or an F+. Yeah. Sorry, Wes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually have a copy of Death of Stalin
Oh, yeah?
I have not watched it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting caught up on my Lee picks.
There we go.
I'm getting caught up. I did Cold Skin this week, but I still have Quarry. I got a long way to go, but you never seem to steer me wrong. Happy I still love, and you still have to try to give it.
Look, man, I'll get into it.
Okay. All right, I'm just telling you. It's great.
You see the trailer for season 2?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I really, you know what? Here's the problem.
Okay.
I don't want to see season 2.
Then don't watch it.
I read the graphic novel. The show is good.
Does it end?
Ended great.
Yeah.
And I know that the demon goes, whatever. They just let a dead dog lie. Just let it go.
Okay. I'll tell you how it is.
But I'll watch it. No, I'll watch it. But I'm just saying, if it was up to me, I would say, man, that was perfect.
Just like a long form miniseries.
Leave it.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Leave it be. Just like the Dark Universe. Yeah. Leave it be.
Yeah. I like those shorts, man, where they just, it's a one thing and it's like 5 episodes and it's over.
Yeah.
And, you don't have to try and make money off of it.
Right.
Just leave the art and leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, that's just me, though. Did you guys, you're on social media.
I am.
Did you see the Vanity Fair pictures of the new Tarantino movie?
I did.
Oh,
I did. Oh, yes.
Yes. You have not seen, have you? Leonardo DiCaprio, excuse me, posted up some pictures from just quick shots of just still shots of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I'd seen some several months ago. But I don't know if there's a
Brad Pitt as the stunt guy and Leonardo DiCaprio as buddies.
Yeah.
They're both.
Brad Pitt is basically his Hal Needham.
Yes.
And Leo is basically his Burt Reynolds. If you want to look at it that way. Unofficially, I guess, but yeah, like Brad Pitt actually does kind of look like Hal Needham. Like he's got like the champion spark plug shirt on and just.
It's good to see him back.
Yeah,
I'm glad he's back. He went through a couple years of
with
the whole Angelina stuff, and he kind of laid low and got clean and did whatever. But for him to come back full in a Quentin Tarantino, like the spoiler alert, the little cameo in Deadpool 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that was just kind of, hey, I'm still around. But for him to come rise back out of exile with the new Tarantino movie, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm really excited for it.
It's going to be awesome. Another guy that needs to be exiled, though, is Bryan Singer.
Well,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Didn't you told me he's getting another...
He's getting $10 million. I don't think the contract's been signed.
He's
getting $10 million to...
he's the head of Red Sonja.
Yeah. And basically the head of Millennium Films said, Bohemian Rhapsody made $800 million, I'm going to hire him.
Fake news, blah, 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 800 million, blah, 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 singers are...
Which basically just lets you know that the money is all that matters.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it should never be... Like, I always hear people talk about, like these people in Hollywood doing these great humanitarian things. Like, no, that's all a smokescreen.
They're all monsters.
Not that necessarily they're all monsters, but they're all just people.
A big portion of them.
I mean, there's a lot of them, but there's a lot of people in the hardware industry that are monsters.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
There's monsters everywhere. Like we were talking about Henry Lee Lucas. He was just a guy walking down the street.
But the guys at the hardware store aren't telling you what to do and telling
you
how bad you are and how wrong you are about your life choices.
That's
like
very
they do in Hollywood.
That's true.
That's why.
Apparently you go to the wrong hardware store. But I mean, it's what is the point where you are unhireable?
Yeah, I don't know.
Victor Salva, the director of the Jeepers Creepers movie, is a convicted pedophile.
Yeah,
and he still makes movies. He sodomized a 12-year-old boy on a movie set, and then Francis Ford Coppola produced the Jeepers Creepers movies. At what point are you? At the same time, he also went to jail for it. So I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm always the guy who says, "Guy gets out of jail, he's done his time." Yeah. But with that guy, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe I'm just being. Being an adult's figuring out how much of a hypocrite you can allow yourself to be.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer was fired from the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
Because of the new stuff. That was in '94 on Usual Suspects. It was Kevin Spacey that was halted production for sexual misconduct, and then Apt Pupil, kids showering, suing parents suing for showering, and and the list goes on, and I'm not going to spend that much time smearing
Right.
him, but I mean, you're right. When are
you unhireable? Basically,
Yeah.
you know.
Pretty much at any point.
You have to get to the Bill Cosby level.
if he's done, well,
I guess.
you said something. What did you say before we started this podcast, this cast about Bryan Singer? If he's done one of those,
if he's guilty of one of the things that he's
a
charged
rapist.
with,
Yeah.
then he should have his cock cut off and crammed up his ass, and that that's the end of it.
If there's just too much. The smoke. There's tons of smoke. Something has to.
Somebody calls you a horse once. You call him a jerk. They call you a horse the second time. You punch him in the face. The third time, it's time to go shopping for a saddle because you're probably a horse. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I guess people get unjustly accused once. You know.
Well, but over a 20-year period, it's like multiple,
and you know it's going on.
Multiple.
The best person I ever saw handle it was Mickey Rourke. He said his ex-wife had accused him of spousal abuse. And he said, well, she was an underwear model, so clearly there will be people coming who saw her at work with bruises all over, so people will come and corroborate her story, and then we'll deal with it legally. And it was never mentioned again.
Yeah.
He just basically said, if I did it, then I'll get arrested for it, and people will agree with her, and just no one ever did, you know.
No.
And I've never heard anything else like that about him again. So
You're right. Well, and Singer has yet to be tried. So, and even Kevin Spacey has. He's been indicted.
He's been indicted. He hasn't been tried. Yeah.
So there you go. But there's 30 people. 30 men have come out on Kevin Spacey now.
Yeah.
Is that? But then again,
to me, I don't care about the men. Are they all underage? That's the issue. If you banged Kevin Spacey at 22 because you thought it was going to lead to something, that's on you as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
That you should be responsible for yourself at that time. But the underage aspect of all this with Singer and
getting drugging these kids up.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing. That's straight rape, and that needs to be addressed in a completely different manner and not a Hollywood ending kind of manner.
Right.
Like he needs to go to prison.
Well, he'll have plenty of money.
Just like anybody else who was convicted of anything like that would be,
Yeah. If you were driving a bus, you would just go to jail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I believe, and I don't. This is on him, and he'll be judged for it. But I believe every bit of it.
Yeah.
Because I live there. I know what goes on.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
All those men
did
all that stuff. Now, were those kids in on it? Were they partying because they wanted to, and they thought, hey, if I go down on Bryan Singer, maybe I could be in the next X-Men movie.
Doesn't matter. Sure. If you're 16 years old, it doesn't matter.
It's up to him to go. No.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's up to the adult.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, and I'm not condoning
because
that. I'm talking about the other ones.
Well, that's between consenting adults and
that's not what concerns me. I don't care what they do past a certain age, but all these. From 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old men talking about the things that transpired, the parties that they attended, and that sort of thing. It's
Would you stay at a party where there were hot 17-year-old girls?
No.
Absolutely not. I'd be like, I am leaving now.
20 years ago.
You know what?
You couldn't get me to leave.
So check this out. Yeah, right. So, and this is great. My wife... I have 4 daughters.
Yeah.
They will not have friends over unless my wife is there.
Yeah.
Because
nor should they.
Because all it would take
is an accusation.
One accusation that I couldn't prove. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again,
protect yourself as an adult and do the responsible thing.
Right.
When you're irresponsible with young people, these are sorts of things that can happen.
Yeah. What? But he's getting another movie. He's getting paid what?
$10 million.
$10 million to another movie.
We'll see. I don't think
they'll probably let him out of jail. They'll probably put him in jail.
I don't think it'll happen.
I
don't think it'll happen. At the end of the day, I don't think there's any way it happens.
The Red Sonja movie falls apart.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or they go with a different director.
Yeah.
I hope they do make another Red Sonja movie. I love the original.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to.
Right.
Wasn't that Tammy Roberts?
No, it was Bridget Nielsen.
Oh, that's right.
Brigitte.
Tanya Roberts was some other movie. She was a Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I can't keep up. That was the 80s, man.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time
I
ago.
wish that it wasn't a long time ago. But it was a long time
ago. It's weird when people say 30 years ago. I'm not like, that was on, next year, that 90.
Golly.
Hey, so what's up with our boy Nick Cage? I hear he's got something new coming out.
He's going to do a movie with the producers of Mandy again.
Yep.
And it's based on an H.P. Lovecraft short story called The Color from Space.
Yep.
The Color Out in Space, excuse me. And it's going to be directed by Richard Stanley, who directed, in the 80s, he directed Hardware in the very late 80s. And he directed a movie called Dust Devil, which is sort of like a horror movie based on African folklore, because he's actually from South Africa. And then he started making the 1990s Marlon Brando Isle of Dr. Moreau, and it was fired and then replaced by John Frankenheimer. And he has not made a movie since.
Yep.
And there's a great documentary about it on Shudder called Island of Lost Soul, which is amazing. And this is going to be his first movie in 25 years. And I'm really interested. He's a super, like his religion is magic. Like in the Lost Soul documentary, he talks about getting a warlock to do a spell on the production so it would go well, but that guy died, and he says that's when he got fired. Richard Stanley believes in magic like a religion, like wizards and stuff. You know, to him, when you talk about Dungeons and Dragons, he thinks that's history. So he's a very interesting guy.
Oh wow!
And he's got a following too.
He does a very big cult following.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of the guy, and just not only as a filmmaker but as a personality. You know, he's very interesting.
Oh, I like Quirkies.
And him doing an H.P. Lovecraft story, which is very weird, has a lot to do with like cosmic horror, things like that. When Nick Cage snoring, even if it turns out it's terrible, it'll be interesting.
You know who else I saw was in the movie?
Who's that?
Tommy Chong.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I read that list and I thought, all right, cool.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's like 80 years old.
He was actually a couple weeks ago. He was on The Masked Singer. That I don't know what the channel is. This show where they get up and wear these masks, and he was kind of a muscular SpongeBob and did this weird song, and I was like, man, that guy can't sing.
Yeah.
And I think it was Jenny McCarthy was like, it's either Tommy Chong or Cheech Marin, and I was like, this bitch don't know what she's talking about. And they're like, who do you think it is? And she's like, I think it's Cheech Marin, and pulled the mask off, and there it was Tommy Chong, and I was like, damn, I haven't seen him in ages.
Wow.
You know? And then to see him again a couple weeks later, co-starring, I guess, with Nick Cage in this, I was like, good for you, man. Cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that movie.
Yeah, looks good. Everything I read about it looks good. Mm-hmm. It makes me. I've never read the book, but it makes me want to read the book.
It's a short story. It's not,
or novella. I think that's what
guy
I saw.
finds like a little animal on his like doorstep, and it just becomes like a monster.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, did you guys see the trailer for The Man Who Killed Hitler and also the Bigfoot?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it really does. Like, it sounds like a parody of like action movies.
Right. I mean, it's like, I wonder why they decided on the
100% serious.
I know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But why do you decide on a name like that?
Because that's what it
The
is.
movie's about a guy who killed Hitler and also the Bigfoot. He was the guy. He was like a guy in World War II, and he got basically
Sam Elliott. I'll see it
on this secret mission to kill Hitler, and then like in the early 80s,
And he does.
in the early 80s, they find out that in like Canada, the Sasquatch is real, but he carries this plague.
Yeah.
And they can jump from animals to human, and they're basically trying to stop a new bubonic plague from spreading throughout the world.
Right.
So, and I think the movie's more about like how when he goes up there, like he's the last of his kind of person, like the last of that sort of World War II tough guy, and this is the last Bigfoot. And it's more going to be more about like them as like, once they're gone, there's no more of them. And I think it'll be more like meditative than just a straight genre movie. But I'm excited for it.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It looks really well done. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great.
Exactly.
Is it going to the theater?
I think so, yeah.
So it won't be a straight to like...
No. I think it'll probably at least have a limited theatrical release.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We won't get it here, of course.
No.
We'll have to drive 5 hours to Nashville to see it.
Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
But also, did you guys see that Blumhouse Pictures is Universal has given them the entire Universal Monsters catalog to
Play with.
Yeah. And they're
going to be on the cheap, and they're going to be well done.
And the guy who directed Upgrade is going to do the first one's going to be the Invisible Man for the guy who directed Upgrade.
Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, look, you got to look at it like this. The last one that came out was Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein in 1948. And they've done nothing for 60 years.
No, they did The Mummy.
They did The Mummy. Okay, they did Van Helsing in 2002 and The Mummy.
And they've
tried it twice in 60 years and done nothing with it.
Fair.
Yeah. So I mean, it can only get better. And even if it's terrible, they'll make two of them and they'll They'll rescind the deal.
You're right. It can't go. And there was a picture. There was a picture done by Vanity Fair, actually.
Oh yeah, the Dark Universe.
The Dark Universe. Yeah, had Tom Cruise and Javier Bardem and Johnny Depp. And
now the sad thing about that is that we talked about him a few weeks ago. Directed Gods and Monsters. Bill
Conti.
Condon. Yes, he was going to make the Frankenstein movie.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that was, the third one was going to be his Frankenstein, and that's the movie he's been trying to make for 40 years, Yeah. And that's the one bad thing about it, that he's made all these movies that he probably didn't want to make. Just to get that he finally gets it, and then Tom Cruise makes Mission Impossible with ghosts or whatever. I didn't see the movie, and
damn it,
and ruins it all.
Yeah, ruins it.
Yep, ruins it all.
Yeah, but I think like having Lee Winnell, the guy did Upgrade, starting with the Invisible Man. It's not one of the major ones, so they can sort of more leeway to do interesting things with it. Yeah, so I'm excited for that.
It's not going to be Johnny Depp. I know it originally was, and he's been.
Yeah.
I think everything's kind of gone upside down with Blumhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm open for anything. I just don't know. Sometimes it's.
I just want an original take on something. If you're going to do something old like that, let's do an original take on it. And they tried with The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and look, man, it's not great, but it's an action movie.
Yeah.
It was okay. The whole thing with Russell Crowe and that whole thing with these monsters was odd.
They were trying to reverse engineer a universe.
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
You absolutely cannot do that. Not in one movie like they tried to do, or a 20-minute segment.
Because at that time when that movie came out, which was only like a year and a half ago, everything was trying to be the Avengers. It was like everything's got to be a universe.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, people like the Marvel movies because there's already a universe that they know about.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's all the news we got for this week.
Well, that brings us to the video store section, where we're in the 80s and 90s, lost action films.
Yep.
And our second in our segment this week, Nemesis from 92.
Oh, yeah. This movie, like I said, when this movie came out, I was 12, 11 or 12. And at that time on HBO, they had a series called Thursday Night Prime. It was hosted by Brandon Lee. Obviously, it had to be the early 90s. But, and they would just basically show a movie like that. Every Thursday, you got a new one of these movies.
Yeah.
Could be good, could be bad, but you knew you were getting a new action movie you'd never seen before. And I loved it. I think it probably went on to about 94, 95, and then they stopped doing it. But I remember seeing this movie for the first time, and here's the thing. When I was 12, I understood this movie perfectly. Like, if you were asking me, I could have told you the plot verbatim. When I rewatch it now, I'm like, oh, this is
there's a lot going on, man.
Because the main character, Olivier Gronier's character, he has 3 haircuts within the first 10 minutes.
Yes, he does.
And it's almost like a trilogy of movies that got edited into one movie.
Right.
And I wanted, because it was directed by Albert Pune, do you know who Albert Pune's mentor was?
Well, he did Sword and Sorcerer, I knew that.
Before that.
No.
Terashina Mifune. Because he's Hawaiian, but his family's Asian. And when he was a teenager, he got brought to Japan by Terashina Mifune to work on TV shows and movies with him.
Oh, how about that?
And then got the funding to make Sword and the Sorcerer, which was a hugely successful movie. It made like $30 million in 1982.
82,
yeah. Which in 1982 that was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Exactly. And he was actually, after that, he was the first director attached to Total Recall.
Yes.
And then he was supposed to remake The Killer, John Woo's The Killer.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
And although I've read the Walter Hill script of that, and it's actually pretty cool. But then this is probably, like, he's directed 56 movies. And like we've talked about with Roger Corman, he is a quantity over quality director. He's like, if one sucks, I'll get him next time. You know, because he's not making movies about his, like, he's not like Paul Thomas Anderson. He's not making movies about his soul. This is his job. And
make entertaining movies as cheap as possible.
As cheap as possible.
And he loves cyborgs, man.
And he does love cyborgs. He's got a new cyborg movie coming out.
Yeah.
Even though he now has MS. And I'm not sure how he's directing. But, people give him money. Whatever. Good for him. And
if he can get money to make a movie.
And my favorite, I don't talk about the movie yet, but I love that in 1987, he was hired by Canon Films to make Spider-Man and Masters of the Universe 2. And when he showed up, they were like, by the way, we've lost those characters. you can't make that movie.
Yeah,
and then he makes Cyborg.
Yeah.
You know, he was like, he took the guns, they used the sort of revolving guns. Those were the guns from Spider-Man, and all the costumes were the He-Man costumes.
Really?
Yeah, because Lord Hamilton, the surfer, was supposed to be He-Man in part 2.
Oh, wow.
And so basically, he's like, well, I'll take what I got. And he just went to the coast of North Carolina with sort of a script and made a movie.
And Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it. And all the
first movie, right?
Second movie after Bloodsport.
What?
Yeah.
That movie...
Bloodsport's 88, this is 90.
I knew it was close.
Yeah.
As bad as that movie is,
It's so entertaining.
It's a part of my soul for the rest of my life, and I'll tell you why.
Which one?
Cyborg.
Yeah.
So, back in high school, we used to have a little bit of fun, and one night I decided, I had a brilliant idea, that I was going to eat mushrooms. And I was going to be okay to hang out with my girlfriend and her friend while they drank at their house. Not real sure what I was thinking.
Right.
So, as the mushrooms start to kick in, the girls that I was hanging out with got really drunk and just went to sleep. So there I was for about 4 hours on a sofa watching Cyborg by myself on suicide, on mushrooms.
Yeah.
And it was the coolest movie
Yeah.
I had ever seen.
Yeah.
The bad guy in that movie, like
he looks great.
I could probably sit there and
looks
watch
like a
that.
character
That
from a
movie
comic book.
must have felt like it was 4 hours.
Yeah.
It must
He's in
have.
Nemesis.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay.
He's got a little short role in it.
Okay.
We were talking about him earlier.
Yeah.
It's the only time I've ever seen Cyborg was on mushrooms, and it was like a 4 hour movie.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, and I have no idea what it was about. But anytime somebody says Cyborg, I'll always remember that movie because it is embedded.
Oh yeah.
That and what was the one at our house with Tommy Chong? Far Out Man.
Far Out Man. Yeah. Where he creates the hippie theme park.
That was the other movie that we got stuck watching at my house on mushrooms.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Anyway,
I know a guy the first time he took
mushrooms. We're telling my
mushrooms.
life story on our podcast. It's
I know
not
a guy
good.
the first time he took
My
mushrooms,
secrets.
he went to somebody's house and they were watching the Jodie Foster movie Nell.
Oh
And he
God!
was just there like, what is happening? He said it just like, it was the scariest thing he'd ever seen in his life. And
well, I feel much better that I got stuck with Cyborg.
there's your PSA right there. But anyway, let's get to Nemesis. It stars Olivier Grenier, who is a cop named Alex Rain. I guess he's a cop or a secret agent. It's really whatever. It doesn't really matter. And he is a cyborg. He has like 20% of his body is robotic.
Yeah.
And every time he gets blown up by a terrorist, they
fix him.
replace more. And he feels like he's becoming less and less human.
Yeah.
And then he becomes a bounty hunter, and then the guy who has the gun in his head shows up, which that's an awesome part.
Yeah.
And shoots him, and then Tim Thomerson and Byron James, who were both in Vietnam together.
Yeah.
And they show up, and they're the heads of the LAPD / Secret Service.
Byron James.
Byron James.
Yeah. What's weird, he did this right after he was in The Player, which means Byron James didn't give a damn. He was like, you been in a movie? I'll be in it. Yeah.
He had like 103 roles credited.
He didn't live that long.
He died at 54, and I think 99.
Yeah. And
He's awesome.
He was awesome. Yeah, he was like talking about, he was in The Player. He's the head of the studio, and then like a year later, he's in Nemesis.
Yeah,
you know. And I love actors like that.
Yeah,
you know. And they sent him on this secret mission to basically destroy this terrorist group of cyborgs and then he comes to find out that the people who have sent him aren't cyborgs; they're robots. Like basically, they're 100% android,
right?
And they are trying to take over the government. And so basically his ex-partner / girlfriend, her mind has been downloaded on what today we would call a thumb drive.
Yeah, Jared.
And he has to basically, she has the information in her mind / floppy disk to save the world.
Yeah. And
this movie makes very little sense. It's like I said, it's a lot of movie.
It's long. There's a lot going on.
It is.
It's not long. It's only an hour and 38 minutes.
But it feels long.
It feels very
like
long.
But there are awesome things in it.
minutes.
Yeah.
There's stunts in it that if you did today, you would be arrested.
It had awesome stunts and some really good like gunfights.
Yeah. Oh, there are more blanks fired in this movie than in most action movie franchises.
The action scenes reminded me of Hong Kong cinema.
Yeah,
like
they really
John
did.
Woo, like hard boiled. Some of the
and I can see why he was after this movie. They was like, this guy could remake a Hong Kong movie. First of all, he's Asian. Second of all,
it's clear.
He's Hawaiian, but he's part Asian. But second of all, he's a very stylistic director. He's style over everything.
Yeah, and it shows.
But the shot when he shoots himself through the floor, I've seen that done in $100 million movies, and it looks like garbage.
Oh, I've never seen it done better.
Here, it looks amazing.
It looks perfect.
And there's a stunt at the end of the movie where when you find out Tim Thomerson's a robot. And they're running away from that old factory, and they blow up that, gotta be a 200-foot smokestack.
Yeah.
Well, how much do you think that thing weighed? 50 tons?
At least.
And it crashes, and they can't be more than 30 feet away from it. Like, Olivier Grenier, who was a Marine in the French Foreign Legion, has this look on his face like, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Like, they're running away from this giant thing that's crashing.
You see it coming at him, and it's like, this is the end.
He's like, and it's just like, it's ridiculous. But I love it. I can't lie.
It's a great B movie.
It is.
It's one of the best.
Here's what I'll say.
B movies. It's right on the line between B movie and A movie.
Here's what I'll say. This is what I'll say about it. If you like Blade Runner, Blade Runner is like The Searchers, if you want to compare it to a Western. This is like a spaghetti Western version. Where some Italian guy didn't really understand the story of Blade Runner. He got the gist of it, and he wrote something down. And
it's close enough.
It's close enough. Yeah, exactly.
That's hilarious. You said that. Look at this on my number 2 note. Blade Runner knockoff.
It's nothing but a Blade Runner knockoff. Like Albert Pond probably loves Blade Runner, but he can't make it because he's not Ridley Scott. Yeah. He's like the dollar store Ridley Scott. Yeah. And I don't mean that. I love the guy.
Not in a bad way.
That's what I'm saying. Like 5 years ago, he got diagnosed with. Like, he apparently had multiple sclerosis for years.
And
he didn't know it. They thought it was something else. Kept getting misdiagnosed. Had these bleeding brain lesions. It was, like, affecting his memory and stuff. Most people would retire. He's directed, like, 4 movies since then. Because screw everybody.
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
The use of, and of course, me being the tech, the use of Steadicam in this movie is fantastic.
No. The him fighting the stop motion robot at the end
is the best.
It's the best. Yeah. Oh, I want to watch that on a loop. Like I said, it's not good, but it's great.
The soundtrack bleeds the 80s. I mean, it really did. It really does. It's, the women.
Oh yeah,
were
that woman who gets cut in half.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, and then
smoking hot.
Has sex with 18-year-old Thomas Jane.
Yeah.
And who is completely naked. Then
like, wait a minute.
You're talking
is
about
that Thomas Jane?
Is that the Punisher? Is that his?
That was Deborah Shelton. We have Marjorie Monaghan.
She was on Dallas.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Every one of them was. Everyone.
Oh, but when she gets split in half and she's still shooting.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh yeah, And there have been 4 Nemesis movies. Yep. I've never seen any of the sequels because they don't really connect to this one. And the new movie he's making is called Dark Nemesis. And I don't think it's connected. It's more like, but Olivier Grenier's in it, but he's not playing Alex Ryan.
I mean, then it might be connected.
Yeah, it might be connected. But just,
So how'd you like the movie?
I love it. Like, I will say, if we're going a really...
You just, covered all my notes, too. I'm like, well, never mind. I'll just shut up and let Lee do it.
Well, it's like, we're talking about as a movie. Like, if this show is a movie rental store, and I'm behind the counter, somebody comes up with and holding Nemesis.
You're going to be like, you're going to like that.
You're going to give them a 30-minute description of why you...
I'm like, you got to rent it. Because, most people have never seen a movie like this.
Right.
And it's a lot of it's
incomprehensible. Can I come to your house and watch it with you?
Yeah, exactly. I have to go to their home and describe why I like it. Give them a running commentary. By the way, there's a really nice Blu-ray of this movie that just came out. It has 3 different cuts of the movie, and because it had a Japanese cut and a European cut and everything. And I would get it, but it's like $30, which as it should be because they put a lot of money into making it.
Sure,
but I'm not going to pay that right now. And that's what eBay's for. And but yeah, I highly recommend this movie. If you want to see what low-budget action movies were like in the early 90s, this is what they were like. Yeah. Because I would watch one every week, and I loved it.
This is 100% exactly what they were like.
Oh, yeah. What do you think, Eric?
See Lee's comments. No, it's fine. I had a good use of Steadicam. It was very stylized.
Yeah. He's a very good technical director.
Yeah. It
as far as storytelling, not really his forte.
No, but everything looked great. The
Yeah.
camera was always where it needed to be.
Yeah.
He had some really cool looking shots.
Yeah,
like so.
that's what I'm talking about. Like the thing with, like if there was an artistic director who got hired to direct Spider-Man and Master Universe 2, they would have just quit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm not making those movies. I'm not working for you guys. You guys are scumbags. He's just like, well, I got to get paid.
Yeah. And I love cyborgs. Let's get it on.
Exactly.
I'll give you my list of notes. They're real similar.
Well, maybe you'll get through them
guys.
without getting interrupted. Maybe.
Doubtful.
Be more interesting, Garrett.
What I've got, I've got cool stunts.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And gunfights,
Right.
which we delved into a little bit. It's not very well acted, but really, who gives a shit? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
None of that matters to me. I'm into the story. I'm not into the acting.
When Thomas Jane says, "I want you to fuck me before you kill me," like the movie's good.
Yes,
That's another thumbs up.
I'm honest with you. If 1990 Deborah Shelton was going to kill me, I might ask for that too.
It had a really unique story. You know, and it's got a lot of moving parts like we've talked about. I mean, there's a lot going on in this.
Yeah.
And it probably, honestly, if you wanted to give it your all, you probably need to watch it twice to get everything from it. Like Lee said, it spawned 4 sequels.
Yeah, sequels. Yeah.
You know, it's a B-grade mashup to me of Blade Runner, The Matrix, and Terminator.
Right.
Everybody looks cool and is wearing sunglasses the whole movie.
Yeah.
There is a little, you know, with the cyborgs and who's a robot and who's not. You know, and if you can accept that style and you know what you're kind of going to get out of it, you just might enjoy yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, it's a rent. For sure.
Yeah, I 100%
Yeah.
rent it. Yeah, it's not Blade Runner.
No.
You know me, I like the art movies.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on the show. I like the art.
But you like the shit, too.
But I appreciate the stylization, and
And I'm not saying it's a shit, but I'm just
Oh no,
saying
I get it. No, yeah, 100%. I would say rent it, but
yeah.
I would do just like you said. I would disclaim it. I wouldn't give you the 30-minute Lee praise fest. I would say if you're into this, if you're into cheesy cyborg movies with some craziness and some bad acting,
it's
but
not even cheesy. It's just low budget.
low budget. This is the
Like, and
movie
it's
for
unique,
you.
dude.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
It's
man.
cheesy, but it's like a gourmet cheese.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like
Gouda.
It's like Gouda. It's not easy cheese. It's Gouda.
Yeah, so there you go. So you got 3 Reddits.
Yeah.
They're on
I honestly
Nemesis.
thought y'all were going to just come in here and just hate it.
Yeah,
so
I was just
much.
BSing you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man. I thought it was cool.
I'll tell you what. I watched it once all the way through,
Yeah.
and then I watched it twice more. But I watched it while I was working.
Right. Yeah. So you were.
So every now and then I'd glance over, especially during the sex scenes and the other cool stuff that
Right.
they had in there going on. But I glanced over and I would catch little things. So it's a great movie. I rent it 100%. So that's only an hour and 38 minutes.
and if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free.
Bada bing!
It's not a great movie.
Free movies. Okay, but it's a free movie.
It is a free movie, and it is an entertaining movie
Yeah.
if you allow yourself to be entertained.
Yeah.
If you're not like, well, it's not doing this, or it's not
Yeah.
Blade Runner, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you go into it just wanting to see something,
But if you just want to be entertained, it is a great movie.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If Blade Runner was the Nike shoe, this is the US 500.
It's a Cougar.
This is a Cougar.
It's a Cougar.
It's a Cougar of the Nike.
I give it a LA Gear at least.
It's not British Knights,
No.
but it's close.
It's very close. There you go. So there you go. Rent it.
Yeah. There we go.
Welcome to Lee's Pick-a-Flick Video Store, where all his recommendations will cost you money or you won't be able to find the video, period.
You got us a rental?
I do. And it's another movie I saw on Thursday Night Prime on HBO. And it is also free to watch if you have Amazon Prime.
Fantastic.
Well, not free, I guess, because you're paying for the service. But you know, if you have the service, you've already paid to see it. It's called The King of the Kickboxers, and it's also a ripoff of a Van Damme movie, and it's actually a ripoff of 2 Van Damme movies because it was released as King of the Kickboxers after the release of Kickboxer, and it was also in other parts of the world it was released as No Retreat, No Surrender 4. So it was technically, some places it was technically a sequel to a Van Damme movie, but it's not connected to it. And it stars a young man named Lorne Avedon, who was supposed to be like the American Olivier Grunier. Like he was supposed to be like a direct-to-video star. And it also stars Billy Blanks, who most people know as the creator of Tybo. Yeah. And Lorne Avedon, his brother was killed after refusing to throw a kickboxing match, like in the early 80s. So cut to the early 90s. He's a detective in New York City, and he gets his captain calls him in and tells him he has a chance to work with Interpol in Thailand because he has martial arts experience. You know, he's worked undercover and things like that. And what it is, there's a criminal syndicate that makes action movies, but they're action snuff movies. So the violence is real in them. And then when he watches the video they have, he sees that the star of the villain is Billy Blank's character, Khan, who's the guy who killed his brother.
Gotcha.
And so he goes to Thailand, tries to get involved in like underground.
I swear to God, I think I've seen this.
You say that every week.
This seems really familiar.
Well, it's on. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it.
No, I mean I'm talking from like '93. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's like around that time.
They used to play it heavy on HBO.
Yeah.
At like 1 o'clock in the morning. So he goes to Thailand, tries to get involved in underground fighting, doesn't do very well. Finds this guy who was the only guy who ever basically fought Khan to
Like a draw.
Like a draw.
Yeah.
And he's drunk now.
Teach me.
Yeah, exactly. So he has to find this guy he's not like Jackie Chan and Junkin Master. He's just a drunk who can fight. So he has to like sober the guy up enough, and the guy teaches him. And I will give it 1 point for. There were a lot of movies in the early '90s that had the word kickboxer in the title, and it was a bunch of slow white guys doing karate. This, they're actually doing Muay Thai in this movie.
Okay.
So, and or at least for the most part, and at the end, he ends up going getting involved in a fight, like an underground fight, and wins, and gets approached by the movie producers, and he goes, and him and Billy Blanks have this like end all be all, and it's actually a really cool fight. It's in this big bamboo dome where they're dressed in sort of traditional Thai outfits, even though it's a white guy and a black guy, and they have this fight, and at the end, he wins. You know, and it's called The King of the Kickboxers. The acting is terrible. It's not particularly well written, but it's really fun. It moves really quick, and it's
It
cool.
seems familiar to me. Like,
Yeah. You
I
probably have
really
seen it.
think I have seen it.
It got a lot more play on cable than Nemesis did.
I liked Billy Blanks.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day.
Here's
I just didn't ever want him to talk.
Right.
Like, just have him
He talks
fight,
very
man.
limited.
Just have him fight. Like, he can fight, and you know, he's got some skill.
Oh yeah.
You know, but trying to turn him into an actor like you
Yeah.
kind of do, it's like it almost kind of poisons the movie.
He's the big bad guy, so he has very limited dialogue.
Right.
And also, the guy who created Street Fighter 2 admitted that the character of DJ is Billy Blanks.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw King of the Kickboxers, and I just stole that guy's likeness. Which today he would get sued for that.
Yeah.
But in the early 90s, nobody gave a crap. But like I said, it's on Amazon Prime. You know, extremely violent. You know, extremely cheesy. But, yeah, very entertaining.
There you go. Stream it. King of the Kickboxer.
King of the Kickboxers.
We're going to do a little bit something different this week. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, like,
We're just too damn sexist.
it's not really that. It's
You
just,
particularly.
it's well, number one, it's hard to come up with because I don't always watch films that got girls in it. So then I'm actually sitting around weeks going, well, what girls am I putting in? And I also really think, you know, we do have girls that listen, and it's always girls. And, you know, go spice it up a little bit. We're in the 80s, action films.
Oh, yeah.
I did, and I forgot to say, but I think I had in my notes, I watched First Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, you know,
Great.
the movie that, you know, I mean, I spent 2 years in the woods acting like John Rambo and making forts and thinking that the government and the town of Hickory was coming after me. And I loved John Rambo and First Blood. So I watched First Blood, and I just started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I need to do something besides women all the time.
Yeah.
So this week we're going to do something different. We're going to do the 80s Kids Showdown. And we're going to have a different approach. Who survives if it's John Rambo versus John Matrix? And anybody that might not know who John Matrix is, well, number one, shouldn't be listening to this show.
Right.
But two, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in Commando when Alyssa Milano, my young boy crush, has stolen his daughter in the movie. He goes after him. He's a Green Beret, and you got John Rambo. So this week, instead of choosing the beautiful woman, we're going to choose who dies, who lives.
Or if you want to vote who you think's more attractive, that's entirely up to you.
That's correct. You could do that too. Hey, whatever.
Is that a bathwater? Who gets the last sip of water.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
After this throwdown.
It's a bloodbath showdown.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a bloodbath showdown. Absolutely. And so this week's bloodbath showdown is John Rambo, First Blood, and Rambo 3, and Rambo 4, and Rambo, Son of Rambo, and Rambo 7, and then like Rambo 13.
Let's go ahead and cut out Rambo 3, because that's the one where it's him and the Taliban against the Russians, and now that one's just kind of embarrassing.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
The
one there is coming out is going to be called Last Blood. He's got one coming out that it's going to be the last one.
And the Rambo just remake, it was like a 2012.
Oh, yeah.
Was fucking awesome.
The guy who wrote the novel First Blood said that was the closest to the character in the book.
Oh my God, it was.
Oh, that's right. There was another one, wasn't there?
It was.
Yeah.
I was like,
It was John Rambo.
That was just called Rambo.
Yeah.
Just straight Rambo. Dude.
Yeah.
The second one.
This came out just
The
a few years ago.
fourth one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're going to watch them, go 1, 2, 4.
Yeah. Leave out
Skip
3.
the 3.
Yeah.
But for this one, you got Schwarzenegger as John Matrix in camos and green paint on his face.
Oh, yeah.
Versus John Rambo, who's got rats biting at his chest.
And camo.
And green paint on his. No, I think he was always in black and black paint.
That's true.
It's the black versus the green.
Yeah.
There's the bloodbath showdown this week. Excellent. Yeah, first I forgot how good that movie really is.
It really is. And he doesn't. Here's the weird thing: he doesn't kill anybody in the first one.
Yeah,
You know?
Nope.
he just survives.
He just survives. Yeah. When compared to the second one, where he kills everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't really have any announcements because I'm headed to the Super Bowl to work right when we finish this podcast, and I have been preparing all week. So I don't really have any. I mean, we got the Mad Monster Party.
Right. We've already promoted that a lot.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got some stuff?
Nope.
There's no events this week. It's cold. Stay inside.
Yeah.
And keep your heat on.
And watch the movies.
Yeah,
Or
watch
the Super Bowl. Or both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
Or
no.
none. I really don't care. I mean, they're not paying for this, so I don't care what they do. To be honest with you.
Amen to that.
What they do is meaningless to me. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, that's it, brother. You got any announcements?
No.
Not turning into a woman anytime soon.
No. I'm gonna read. Here's my announcement. I've got a copy of Garrick Lane's latest script called The Fatal Season, and hopefully by the next time we meet, I'll have had a chance to read it, and we'll discuss it a little bit.
Lee read half of it, and then I stopped
And then
writing.
set it on fire?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was being nice, I'm sure.
No, I've read it. No, I read a previous draft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually read 2
That's what I got
previous
going
drafts.
on, man. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Well, that's good. And that is definitely nothing. That took 7 years, though. I'm hoping it's good.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, that's correct. There you go. Well, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week when we're doing the movie Drive as our third and final segment of the 70s and 80s and 90s lost action films. And hey, man, what are we doing following that?
We are going to do horror movies, and we're going to do movies. I guess the best way to sign up movies that have to do with death and dismemberment.
Nice
They don't have to do with,
splatter.
you know, some of them are just like you have to wait and see. Just death and dismemberment. That's all I'm going to say.
Dismemberment being the key word.
Yeah, there's a lot of dismemberment.
There's definitely a lot of dismemberment.
Yeah.
So that sounds perfect. All right, then. Well, thanks a lot out there in Video Store Land. We will talk to you next week. Thank you to our sponsors, Table Rock Creative, for all your video marketing needs. TableRockCreative.com and Golden Ticket Cinemas.